But the Cardinals don't give up a lot of points to quarterbacks. Do you start or you sit him this week?
Yeah, he is a guy that I'm fading this week. And if you look at the numbers, 14 or fewer fantasy points in 2 of his last 4 games. I get it. Good stat line last week, but money, 2 of those touchdowns came in garbage time. And in 4 career games against the Cardinals, averaging fewer than 13 fantasy points per game. And this Cardinals defense is pretty tough against the pass. I'm also sitting Jameis Winston, which is odd to me, Matt, because I've been saying to start him basically every time he's on the field. But this is a bad matchup against the Ravens. They've allowed the 6th fewest fantasy points to quarterbacks this season. Quarterbacks also have a 76.5 passer rating and have thrown just 7 touchdowns facing the Ravens in Baltimore. So this is a bad matchup for the Bucs.
All right, 2 sits there. How about a couple starts?
Ben Roethlisberger, and I don't even have to make the joke that he's at home because he's been doing well regardless, home, road, but this is a very good matchup against the Patriots. If you look at the numbers, they've allowed 14 touchdown passes and an average of over 21 fantasy points per game to home quarterbacks, and Big Ben has averaged over 21 fantasy points per game in his last 5 against the P-Men. Now, we talked about Jared Goff earlier in the show. Don't worry about what happened last week. That was the Bears. It was 20 degrees. Now he's back in Hollywood, and he's got a great matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles, who've allowed an average of over 27 points per game since Week 10. They're giving it up to offenses. Jared Goff and the Rams are going to be a little salty after last week. Start Jared Goff.
Technically, he's in Watts, not Hollywood.
My bad. I'm sorry, pal.
Yeah, I just figure, Okay, how about a sleeper?
Are you done yet? Wherever he's playing, start him. And I like Josh Allen as a sleeper. He was a sleeper last week. This guy, well, if it was only for his passing stats, he'd be even better. He had 3 turnovers last week. But this is a guy who has rushed for 335 yards in his last 3 games combined. That's an NFL record for a 3-game span among quarterbacks. And Detroit's defense, well, it's just not all that good. So Josh Allen suddenly becoming a thing in fantasy because of that.